Hello friends, in this video we will discuss about the costing sheet in product costing. So these are the overheads. The overheads can be captured using the costing sheet. So I just show you the costing sheet navigation path. So in my controlling into the product cost controlling, product costs planning, the basic settings for material costing. And under the field of overhead, you can find the costing sheet. So before enter into the costing sheet, I just view the costing sheet components. We will create the components and then we will create the costing sheet. So first on the calculation basis, I just execute it. So the calculation basis are used to determine to which cost elements overhead is applied together. So we have a material, wages, and production. So we can make use of these bases. So we have overheads like okay, we can make the material overhead wages, and we can change this as admin overhead. Since we have already created this secondary cost elements as production overhead and admin overhead with the cost element category 41, which is nothing but production overhead. We can additionally create one overhead for material. So I just created this as material overhead, and this is wages overhead, and this base is admin overhead. Okay, I just save this. So before processing into the calculation basis, so as per our previous thing, we can create some other additional one for material overhead, that is MO, and this is for material overhead. We will create it first, and it is also will have the cost element category as 41. Just save this. So to create the secondary cost element, the T code is KA06. Just enter here KA06, and for the material overhead, we will create a cost element, secondary cost element. Click on enter. So the cost element category here is overhead rate, and the cost center assigned here is C1. We will save this. So I enter into the calculation base. We can make use of these three calculation bases. So I just enter into the first one, selected this one, and double click on details. So I will give my controlling area. Click on neon trees. So the cost elements, from cost element to cost element. So I just view my ledgers. In the expenses, we need to link all the consumption accounts here, starting from the consumption of ink to the consumption of PVC plastic. These four are the raw material. So we need to link these things here from starting from 9 to 12, or else we can also include the semi-finished goods also, 13 and 14. So starting from 9 until 14, we need to link here. So I just go to here 500092. 14 50014. So we don't have any group. So to origin, we have a material origin. Okay, I just save this. Similarly, okay, I just select it, and I will again go back into this. So this is the primary cost element. We can also link the secondary cost element here also. Uh, for for just now we have created this material overhead, which is in the secondary cost element. We can also maintain here also. So I just click on new entry. This MO to the origin 001. Okay, I just save it. So this is the primary cost element and this is the secondary cost element. Both we can maintain here. So I just move back, and now I'm selecting the wages overhead. Double click on details into the controlling area, new entry. So we don't have any cost elements, primary cost elements here, and we need to maintain the uh, production overhead. This here, it is PO to the origin. I just save this, and the last one, the admin overhead, new entry, which is nothing but AO. 001. So we have defined the calculation basis for our requirement. I just go back. We can process with the next. Define percentage overhead rate. We can either go for percentage overhead or quantity based overhead. I'm going to do for the percentage overhead for my product costing. I just execute it. So here also there are some standards available with SAP. We can make use of it. We can make use of this one, and this one. So first we can carry out with the material overhead. Just select it and double click on details. So we can maintain the percentage overhead that need to be calculated for our planning. Sorry, for our product costing. I just click on new entry. The validity dates I can choose for this month. This is valid only up to this month to my controlling area, and the overhead type is actual overhead rate. The percentage is 10. I will save it. This is my overhead calculation. I'll just move back now into the manufacturing overhead. Click on new entry. And the overhead type is actual overhead rate. We can maintain the same percentage. And the last one, the admin overhead rate. We'll save it. Okay, I've defined this also. We will leave this. Now I'm entering to the defined credits. I just execute it. So we can make some credit. So this credit key is used to uh, credit the cost center and debit the product or production order. So we can maintain three credit keys so that we can make use of it during our costing sheet preparation. So the first key I'm going to create here is, okay, A01 is available. Okay, let me go on with the A01. That is the material. This is for material. I just save it. Come back. Okay, let me define. This is for my company code, so that it is select it and double click on details. Enter my company code controlling area. We can maintain the material overhead, the cost elements. We can I just so this is not possible with material overhead. You can see here the production overhead and admin overhead comes into picture and not the material overhead. So this one is not in the picture. You can see here. So we cannot use the for this. Okay, I just skip this. Just go back. I will name it as uh, production overhead. And let me create another key called A02, and this is for our admin overhead. Save it. So first I just select it and enter into the details. The secondary cost element, production overhead. Okay, I have not maintained any group here. Okay, let me go give some fixed amount with the cost center C2. Okay, since we have not created any order, I'll just leave this. Just go back and the admin overhead. And the secondary cost element. This is responsible for cost center 3. Okay, I have done these things. So everything has been set. Now I can move on with the define costing sheet. Just execute it. We will link all those things in this costing sheet. I'll just create a new one. Just click on save. We have created a costing sheet. I just select it and double click on costing row sheet. So let me copy from the scratch. Okay, standard overhead. I just see it. Okay, we will use this. Okay, I will delete my entry. We can make a modify of this standard on from the standard on. I think this is okay. I just select this and click on copy. We will change it according to our requirement. And I just select this and double click on costing sheet row, and we will okay, we had this basis in our Okay, we had B triple zero, this one B001 and B002. We had some entries over here, so we can make use of it. And this one, the overhead. So we need to maintain our material overhead here. That is this one. We have configured for this one in our previous session. So I will change this. And the credit, we have not defined any credit for our material, so I just delete it. And this one B001, let me, okay, it is, we have defined our entry here, wages overhead. Okay, I just, and this will be added to our sales overhead here. That is this one, manufacturing overhead. And finally this one, this is the admin overhead, and this overhead will be included here. And we need to change this one also. Let me do it. So let me change this one also, A200. And okay, from 2 rows 40 to 45. Okay, and the credit keys also. And this is E02 and this is E03. Okay, we have, okay, it is not E01. We need to change. We have created A01, 2 and 1 and 2. Okay, 1 is for production and 2 is for admin overhead. Okay, it is A02. It is also A03 and this is A02. Okay, we have defined the costing sheets. It's not defined. Okay, A02, 1 and 2. Okay, 1 and 2. It is 1. So it is also 1. It is 2. Okay, we have defined. Okay, let me select this and double click on base. You can see here. Okay, okay, everything has been linked here. So I just explained. So this is the base value. This is the base of material overhead. I just select this and double click on base, and it will display what I have configured in the first one. Similarly, uh, it is the overhead rate. I just select this and double click on overhead. We should not select this and double click on base since it is not the base. So I just select this and double click on overhead rate. You can see what we have configured in our previous step. Similarly, the credit. Okay, I just select this and double click on credit. So we can see what all we have configured in our previous steps. So I have maintained the costing sheet now. I just click on check. You can see no validity errors were found. Okay, it seems it is okay, and we can use it in our next process. So this is this is the way we can maintain our costing sheet. So thank you friends for watching this video. We will continue in the next video. Thank you.